Alright, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, AHBAD. I'm Profitable Service in Petersburg, Florida, GMS, Tampa Bay 12. I want to give our honor, glory, and praise to YAHWASHI, Sirach, double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone who rule well. Single honor and salutation. Single honors to all the sincere brothers that's constantly preaching word truth and sincerity, four corners of the earth. And peace and blessings also be to all the sincere men, women, and children that do consist of the 1/3. And peace and blessings be to the confusion and faces of the four corners of the earth. Shalom, peace and blessings be unto you all. Bear with me, Jay just got off work. And we basically have to understand that the Heavenly Father has created all men, but he only dealing with the elect of Israel right now. And his mercy is really going to be upon those who are willing to obey. Alright, who are willing to be obedient. And that's all the Heavenly Father looks for. Because what's the whole duty of man? All men is to what? To keep the commandments and fear the Lord. But in the beginning, it was only given to who? In the beginning, it was only given to who? The nation of Israel. But when we rule again, all nations are going to have to come under that stead. But as we speak right now, I'm talking to the Israelites. So, if I may, this is 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22. And Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice as in obeying the voice of the Lord, Yahawah. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So that's where the word discipline comes from, and that's why you have the disciples. Disciples were ones who were taught. Disciple, basically, you being disciplined, you being learned. I mean, so like you're learning, you're being taught, you're being disciplined. No different than a sifu or a sensei or a kung fu master or a martial art expert teaching his student. They gonna always teach you the basics. Look at what's the movie I'm talking about? Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. It's always about the basics. So keeping the commandments is the basis. Not having faith is something that's given to you from the Heavenly Father. So anybody can try and say they're gonna keep the commandments, but being disciplined by the faith is different. All right. So let's go into Sirach, chapter 18, verse 8. What is man, and whereto serveth he? What is his good, and what is his evil? That reminded me of 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. 11th verse, or 10th verse. The number of man's days at the most are 100 years. As a drop of water into the sea, and a gravel stone in comparison of the sand, so are 1,000 years to the days of eternity. So in other words, like a day to us is 1,000. Hold on, Salakia. 1,000 years to us is one day to the Heavenly Father. So just imagine when one day to us is to the Heavenly Father. That's why every day you wake up is a blessing. Verse 11. Therefore is God patient, Yahawah, okay, patient with them, and pour forth his mercy upon them. Bear with me for a moment. Shalom. I'm going to read it again. This is Sirach, chapter 18, verse 11. Therefore is God patient with them, and poureth forth his mercy upon them. All right. So so he said he was patient with them. Why was he patient? Because that goes back to the nation of Israel. We always been stiff-necked and hard-headed, so to say, according to the scriptures, and that's how we are today. Because even your grandfather or your grandmother, your uncle, your aunt, your mother, your father, whoever, even your big brother, somebody be like, yo man, you hard-headed motherfucker. Like, you don't listen to nothing I got to say, man. Your goofy ass can go out there and get fucked up. Like, that's how they used to talk to you. So it's like deep down inside, the Lord said the same exact thing. We stiff-necked. He said their heads are like adamant stones, so make your head like it. That's what that's what you really call fighting fire with fire. Oh, you cursing, man, you talk like this all fucking day. You just mad because the Lord is telling you how you're supposed to get this message. All right, by sparing not, Isaiah 58:1. But going back into Lord having mercy, Psalms 78 and 39. I'm gonna start at 38, Salakia. But he being full of compassion, I'm gonna start at 37, Salakia. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. That's talking about you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. Listen to this. But he being full of compassion forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away and cometh not again. So that's and they go to show talking about Israel. I'm gonna go to the next verse. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? So the Lord said, knowing that we are but flesh, he had mercy and compassion upon who? The nation of Israel, the children of Israel. Because the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No other nation. See, Christianity is a false doctrine. Oh, we all like Abraham. See, Abraham had a brother. So what about his seed? Stop playing. Okay. But anyways, this is Sirach chapter 18, verse 12. He saw and perceived their end to be evil, therefore he multiplied his compassion. Because the Lord had declared these things unto us, you know, that from the beginning. By who? His prophets. And we're here again today. The Lord said, I knew you were going to go astray. I knew you was going to go off. That's why I multiplied my compassion. But unto who? Only those that believe. Because 2/3 are going to get what they deserve, whether they like it, accept it, believe it or not. Verse 13, I say 18. The mercy of man is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. Listen to this though. He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock. There's a couple things I want to get on this verse. It says the mercy of man toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. Now a Christian be like, see, and they're close to book. See, the Lord loves everybody. It said all flesh. Do you have flesh? Do you be talking to like Edomites, Moabites, Hamites to try and prove his point? But when you go into thus saith the Lord, that's a completely different topic. Bear with me. I'm trying to prove my point real quick. This is Joel chapter 2. It said upon all flesh, right? Joel chapter 2 verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. Remember that. None else. And my people shall never be ashamed. We are ashamed, these so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, but because now we know who we are, we in this truth, we have nothing to rejoice or glory in ourselves, but we do rejoice and glory into the Heavenly Father, because the Heavenly Father has put us here for being disobedient. So now he's like, okay, those who do believe, I will save you, but 2/3, I'm gonna kill them. They gone, you know. Joel 2 and 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons. So that's basically selective. Your, not all sons. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. It's only talking about the nation of Israel. So when you go back to Sirach chapter 18, verse 13, it said the mercy of man is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. All flesh are who? Nation of Israel. Because you want to know why it's upon the nation of Israel? Because 1/3 and 144,000 shall be saved. 2/3 are going to perish. They're going to die in their iniquity, in their wickedness. But remember, the entire nation of Israel shall be saved. That's the mercy that Heavenly Father has. It's really for the entire nation of Israel. Matter of fact, I'm trying to prove a point real quick. Man. Let me find it real quick. Okay, right here, Romans. This is Romans chapter 11. I'm just flowing with the spirit right now. Romans chapter 11, verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that, and that means Israelites, read Romans the 9th chapter, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness and parties happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. So who are the Gentiles? Israelites, 2/3, blinded. Isaiah 6 and 9, Isaiah 29 and 10. All right, read that. Verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved. And it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them. And I spoke about the covenant earlier. When I shall take away their sins. It didn't say all sins. It says their sins. As concerning the gospel, as concerning us doing this truth, they are enemies for your sake. That's why the elders said that there's no new members in GMS. Okay. But as touching the election, it's all about the elect, they are beloved for the Father's sake. So I'm going to read Sirach 18 and 13 again. I'm not going to make it too much longer. I got one more precept. The mercy of man is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock. YAHAWASHI is that shepherd pertaining to Hebrews the 13th chapter. All right. Matter of fact, through the Spirit, it's just a spirit, you know. Going to Hebrews. I'm just proving the point. So when I say these things, you can. Cause YAHAWASHI, what it said, smite the shepherd in the flock, the sheep shall flee. And when they smote YAHAWASHI, put him on the cross, what happened? We fled. We fled, man. Hebrews chapter 13, verse. Bear with me. 20. Now the God of peace that brought again from the dead our Lord YAHAWASHI, that great shepherd of the sheep, through the blood of the everlasting covenant. I keep hearing covenant. A covenant is like a contract, a promise. What these Christians getting, these false Christians getting that God, Lord, man, y'all tripping, bro. Y'all is tripping, all right? But nonetheless, though, you understand. When you read Sirach 18 and 13, it's talking about Israel, not everybody. Now verse 14, he hath mercy on them that receive discipline and that diligently seek after his judgments. The disciples were who? Israelites. All right, discipline, disciples. No, they weren't Israelites. Okay, well then how about this? Why would the Lord choose heathens to tell them to do this one matter? And I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna just close out with this. I ain't gonna make it too much more longer. I'm just in the spirit right now. Oh, the disciples could have been Hamites, Edomites, Jebusites. Let's see what the Lord said, and let's see who he's talking to, because he had to be talking to the Israelites. Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why would the Lord tell heathens to go do that? Those who would discipline will be the disciples, who will be the Israelites, the men on the highways and byways right now. Because when you're disciplined, that means that you've been taught. So what are you going to do? You're going to obey. Wow. 144,000 to 1/3. Call Holoyim. YAHAWASHI. Verse 7. As ye go preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's only for who? The kingdom is only for who? Israel. Alright? But nonetheless, so I pray you edify with this video. I'm going to get all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWASHI, Bahashim Chakadash. The bone some elder pastor, great millstone. Like I always say, man, ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing. Stay humble, remain diligent. Salaka YAHAWASHI, Bahashim Chakadash, Tam Yad, Polol Tam Yad, La One Kanai, La One Mahar. Shalom.